Have you ever stirred a cup of tea and noticed something strange? A few seconds after the water stops spinning, all the tea leaves end up in a neat little pile right in the center of the bottom. But wait a minute, shouldn't centrifugal force throw them toward the edge of the cup instead? Surprisingly, the exact opposite happens. So what's going on? At first, the water spins rapidly. Near the surface, the spinning water is pushed outward, causing the water level to become slightly higher around the edge and slightly lower in the center. But the water that reaches the wall can't keep moving outward forever. With nowhere else to go, it begins flowing downward along the side of the cup. Now we arrive at the key to the mystery. Near the bottom, the water rubs against the cup and friction slows it down. Because it spins more slowly there, the outward centrifugal effect becomes much weaker. However, the water piled up around the edge is still pushing inward with slightly higher pressure. That pressure drives the bottom layer of water from the edge back toward the center. When the water reaches the center, it has nowhere else to go, so it rises upward. Near the surface, it flows outward again, completing a continuous loop. So the water isn't simply spinning in circles. The spinning motion around the cup is called the primary circulation, but there is also a much weaker flow riding on top of it. Water moves down along the wall, inward across the bottom, up through the center, and back outward near the surface. Physicists call this hidden looping motion secondary circulation. So why do the tea leaves collect in the center? Because they are carried by that gentle inward current along the bottom. When they arrive at the center, the water turns upward, but the upward flow isn't strong enough to lift the leaves back into circulation. Instead, they remain near the bottom and gradually accumulate in the middle. So it wasn't centrifugal force that gathered the tea leaves. It was a hidden current created by friction at the bottom of the cup. In 1926, Albert Einstein realized that the same physics explains why rivers develop their famous winding curves. As a river bends, the water near the surface flows faster around the outside of the curve. Near the riverbed, however, friction slows the water down. Just like in the teacup, this creates a secondary circulation. Water near the bottom moves from the outside of the bend toward the inside, carrying sand and sediment with it. Over time, the inside of the bend builds up into a sandbar, while the faster water near the surface erodes the outside bank. Little by little, the river bends more and more. The next time you stir a cup of tea, watch the leaves drift quietly toward the center. Hidden inside that tiny swirl is the very same law of fluid dynamics that slowly shapes rivers across our planet. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.